Today's video is Idiot's Guide to Mountain Biking in Riverhead Forest. Riverhead Forest is not your typical bike park. It doesn't have directional arrows or signboards or anything like that, so you need to really know where you're going. So this video is designed to give you a track that you can do around Riverhead. Hopefully if you follow this video you could do the track and not get lost, which is something that I tend to do. First thing you need to do is find the place to go. You need to turn down Ararimu Road out at Riverhead and find this Barlow Road car park, and on the weekend there's often lots of cars parked there. You head up the road past this metal gate. Just up here on the left there is a big flat area car park which can be used for events, and Motorcycle Club uses it. We're going to go straight on past there and cut into a track on the right hand side. There is a sign on the tree saying Gravel Road, I believe. Look at that. Now this track, well, any of the tracks in Riverhead, very good in the summer, but you can see even on these dry conditions can still be some large puddles. My advice to you is don't ride through the puddles even if they look relatively small, as the motorbikes have often dug seriously deep trenches and your whole wheel can disappear in them sometimes. You can actually bypass this track and get all the way up to the top via the road. So if you don't like climbing up and it's a bit slippery, then just climb up on the road and meet at the top. Left hand turn just here, but basically what we're aiming to do is head straight up the hill. If the bike's creaking terribly, I do apologise. I'm going to get that seen to, and hopefully I'll edit that out. Well, hopefully you're all still with me. If you decided not to do that bit of track, that's literally the road that you'd come up. So you could come up that short bit of road and bypass that track. Maybe worth considering in the middle of winter when it's a bit of a bog fest, or if you don't like climbing uphill. This is Barlow Road, which again, if you follow that road all the way up to the top, you'll meet where we are coming out next. But we're going to cut here in on the right and carry on climbing. This track here we're pulling into on the right is called Corkscrew. Do keep in mind that bikes could be coming down some of these trails, so always keep an eye ahead, just be wary of that. Okay, a bit of a T-junction here, going to take a left. Okay, so if you've done it right and you're still following me, you would have come out of this track here onto this little bit of road. Now if you follow this road down, it only goes down a short way, and then there's a road coming up from the left. So if you wanted to bypass this climb and just do the gradual road climb, you would come up that way, and then take a right hand turn and then come up this road, and then we're going to cut into a track on our left called Communal. So let's do that now. The inspiration for making this video is the fact that I've been very lucky in the last few years, and I have actually got to ride some pretty cool places around the world. And some days I'd get up and decide to explore using trail forks on my own and try and find trails. Now sometimes this went well, but in many cases I simply couldn't find the trail. I went up a hill, down a hill, still couldn't find the entrance to a track, and if I did find a track, sometimes it was completely overgrown and no one had ridden it for years. Riverhead Forest is probably a classic example of it's not a bike park, loads of trails in there, but unless you know where they are, how they all join up, it can be very hard to just turn up at Riverhead and go for a ride. If anybody does find this video helpful, they actually managed to watch the video, come out here and follow this loop round and not get lost, well, first it'll probably be a miracle, but if you do manage to pull it off, please let me know. I'd be really chuffed to know that someone actually came out here and got to go and ride in Riverhead, enjoy these tracks, and found their way around using my directions. Alright, left turn here. And we're out at the road. As you come out the end of Communal, you want to take a left-hand turn onto the road, and then at this fork, take a left again and straight up the road. On the right-hand side here, a track comes out from Baconator and joins up. We'll be doing Baconator, so remember this junction, but we go straight up the hill here. Yeah, no, you got to be kidding. That is actually where the motorbikes go up, not mountain bikes. You're never going to get there, although you can ride down. It's quite fun. Too easy. So go to the track to the left. This track here I think is called India. It's a relatively steep, hard climb, not too bad in the dry. Certainly when this clay's all wet in winter, it can be much more of a challenge. Of course I am on an e-bike today, which doesn't make it a lot more pleasurable. And we're back on the same road, Barlow Road again, and we're going to turn right and go up to Baconator. Alright, so Baconator is just here on the right, and there's even a sign just there saying Baconator. If you've done the Riverhead Enduro, or you're planning on doing it this year, I guarantee Baconator is going to be in it. Well, I can't guarantee it, but it almost certainly will be in it. They often use this roll in here, and then you come across the road and straight down into Baconator, which we'll do now. Riverhead is a really great place to come mountain biking, but it's very much a privilege and not a right. The land is privately owned, and these tracks and the rights to these tracks actually belongs to the Waitemata Motorcycle Club. If you are coming riding here, you should be aware of when they will be using these tracks, and you can check that out on their website. It's a good idea to stay away, for safety reasons, and also as a matter of respect, they do let us use these tracks when they are not using them. Woohoo! You got to catch that corner. Okay, this next bit can be tricky. I've fallen off here before. Not too bad in the dry, but in the wet, you better control your speed as you come into here. They put a bridge in, which made it a lot easier. West Coast Riders Club did that. Came through here a couple of weeks ago with a set of loppers and opened all this up, got all the overhanging branches out the way. There's no trail maintenance crew here, so if you can volunteer a little bit, that always helps. And then turn right up India, and we'll join in where I showed you before. And we link into where we did before. Okay, so if you're still following the instructions, we're now back at the top of Baconator. So where to from now? We're going to take the road. This is still Barlow Road, and we're going to take this first left here, and I'll show you where we're going. This piece of track is called a new floating bridge. I guess it replaced old floating bridge after they did the forestry. Can you hold the camber? Yeah. If you're coming down the hill, you'll see there are multiple lines. Don't really worry too much about it. Take a line, pick a line, they all end up at the same place. It is surprisingly, it's fairly flat across here, but it does actually start to get steep quite quickly, and in the wet it does pay to control your speed again a little bit. If that creek is still driving you nuts, it was driving me nuts. Sorry about that. Hopefully by the time we make the next video, might have sorted that out. Can you guess why they called it Floating Bridge? There you go, there's the bridge. Then opens up onto another piece of new track that's gone through the new area that was felled. This is actually slightly uphill, and at the end of this track what you want to do is take a right-hand turn onto the gravel road. Later we'll come to a junction I'll explain, and so if you remember that turn. So we take a left-hand turn back up here, so you've gone up the road, take a left and then join back up with this track, which will take you to the top of the hill. At the top of the hill it splits into two. You can do a track on the left in the open, or you can take the right hand option, which goes into the trees and is called Cheese Grater. The motorcycle club has put signs up on a lot of the trees, and they've given them names. Some of the names the mountain bikers use are different, so it is a little bit confusing. You may hear multiple names for one track, but either way, this is a fun little bit of track, a few cool little features in it, and then you'll come over a little metal bridge at the end, which is why this one's called Cheese Grater, or sometimes called Metal Bridge as well. Alright, I'm on about my fourth go at trying to explain this to myself, or to explain it to you, but I'll see if I can do it. If you come up this road here, if you turn right when we went over the little metal bridge, there's a track just in there on the left, which we're going to take now. If you take the road to the top of this hill, you can either go left and that will meet up with the track we're about to do if you don't want to do the track. You can turn right at the top of the hill and do a track called Jebbies, which takes you down through these trees here and brings you out here. And that's been done in the Enduros. If you want to check out my video of that, that's my crash at Riverhead Enduro. But anyway, we're going to tuck in here now, and I hope that all made sense. Now watching that, I'm not sure if that did make sense, but to try and keep it simple, you've just came over the metal bridge, you turn right, go up the road a bit and turn left onto this track, which I think is called Janis Joplin. If you go over this bridge, you must be doing something right. Alright, we're going to take a right hand turn here. Bit of a climb up here. I did mention the track Jebbies. It's worth doing. You can just go straight up the road, turn right, come back down it, and then come back up the road or come up Janis Joplin, up the track we're doing now. When you get up here, you're going to come out to follow this track and you're going to come out to the road, and we're going to take a left onto the main road just here. Okay, so we're going to travel down this road. There's a bit of a split, and we're going to go to take the left split, and then we're going to take a track just up here on the right called MV. This is quite a fun little track, not too difficult. A few holes though, I've actually fallen off quite badly on this track in one of the Enduros, but generally a good fun track to ride. One thing I was saying about it being a privilege to ride on these tracks, make sure you don't throw any litter out at all, and absolutely no smoking out here. If you see anyone smoking, obviously you know, tell them it's, you know, they have to stop immediately. So it's a privilege to ride out here, and if we all look after the forest, hopefully we can carry on riding here. Now when you get to the bottom of this track, you want to turn left, follow this trail all the way back along until you come to the big flat grass area here. This is usually where events are staged, and this is where the Riverhead Enduro will be staged. Carry on back past there, turn right, and you've done a full loop and you're back at the car. Well, I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, and you liked the video, love it if you just subscribe. Just click on the logo there, and maybe even a few more videos you could check out. So we'll see you on the next one.